Welcome to the Wormhole Extremists. My name is David. I'm with Nicole.
Hello.
And Evie.
Evie is muted.
Oh no.
I said him stopping a video, she muted.
Evie?
I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible person. I'm still here, I promise.
Jeez. That's funny. I think this was the only time that they used really the map early on. And definitely
I love the map.
Only time that Don had his wand.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's a good point.
Mario as a party had a very different vision for the character than Don S. Davis did.
Really?
Uh-huh.
No idea.
And it was Don who's like, we've got to make this guy more personable. This is just not, hey, stock footage.
I love stock footage.
Yeah, exactly. Can you believe every time they were getting attacked by the gold in these early days, they set their auto-destruct just in case they got in?
I know.
That not crazy?
It's so dramatic. I love the drama, though, of the early seasons. It's very exciting.
Evie, are you with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Good.
Sorry.
That's all right. Just wanted to make sure. That last shot always looks like the iris actually shifts.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's really cool.
I think it's like the lightning.
It's like the iris is just getting so pounded. It's like almost, about to break open.
Oh, Walter.
Good old Walter.
But he's not Walter at this stage, is he?
No, he
has several name changes.
Yeah.
Was he even anything at this point?
You what now?
Is he even anything?
Okay.
I thought he was just like an airman. Even though he's not supposed to be. He's like a technician.
Yeah, he's
Gate technician one.
Yeah, gate technician was basically all that it was.
And imagine if they forgot their passwords for those one day, or they.
Oh no!
The world would blow. There would be a crater in Colorado.
Yeah.
This is a great way to start this show.
You've got it's really good. Straight in there.
Yeah, it establishes the dangers of this nemesis. They infiltrate us
immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fantastic. I think this is actually. I used to not like this episode as much when I was growing up, but now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, fantastic. Yeah. I think it's because it wasn't as like visually entertaining.
Well, it's on base, I guess.
Not much is happening either.
Not a lot of the really good episodes are on base, but this one's a good one.
Yeah.
Pure titanium won't even allow matter to reintegrate.
Yeah. I just like the way that now when I watch this episode, the structure of like and the idea of the setup of the show. And like going technically just first episode after the pilot, it's like, oh yeah, straight in there. Like
correct.
It's already kicking off. So
yeah, the danger is real.
Yeah.
Well, the danger is real, but you can't see it. Which makes it even more scary.
Yeah. I love the irises' eye. This is the intro I watched the most growing up. I think is the one I've seen the most.
Yeah, I think this is the one I like the best actually.
What's scary is I can name every single episode these shots are from. I really hate that about myself.
What I really wish the sequence would have evolved from season to season.
I love the fact that they chose them up for the grace of God for Michael Shanks twice in that shot. So dramatic.
Yep.
Well, it is such an amazing episode.
It's a great episode, and it's all about him. The drama's completely on Daniel, and so
we'll have to wait till the end of this season.
I know. I'm so excited.
We're jumping ahead of ourselves.
Just a wee bit.
That's a good episode too. Oh.
That's funny.
Man. Oh, this is also the drama of this. Oh, so good. So I'm so excited. The gate looked amazing there as well. I'm really looking forward to the good CGI.
The red phone.
Yes, foreshadowing.
What's one? His granddaughters. Two, the president.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Not the red phone. I think the red phone's specifically for the White House.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I think he's got another phone in there, or at least he will, because I sold it.
Well, there you go.
These patches behind Don, a number of
Yes.
those were lent by members of production that had some of those. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, we were not allowed to sell those. Those had to go back to the people who supplied them.
That's really cool that they were willing to give them up for production.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, allow them to be borrowed.
Yep.
But that's still pretty cool.
Yeah, Jack has something similar in his office in Homeworld Command in Universe. He's got several of
Yes.
the patches from production over the course of several seasons. Or several from Stargate Command, should I say, and Atlantis and Midway.
I love the way that Jack's just immediately coming to Tilt's defense. What a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are one of a kind. Or they are two of a kind. I went to
Peas in a pod.
I went to Pearl Harbor, and the
Yeah.
the Japanese were there,
Right.
and there was a whole section dedicated to the men who had fought at Pearl Harbor, and the Japanese who were fighting for their emperor. And they were all honor bound. I mean, in this,
Wow.
it's not a circumstance where they were like bloodthirsty. They
Sorry,
certainly
just
didn't
a
like
little
Americans,
Yeah.
but they were. It had the thing had taken the perspective of they were men doing a duty.
Yeah.
And-
Edie, you also
I was going to
realizing
say,
the thing?
cheeky side note. Yeah. His emblem is upside down.
It is.
Yeah, that's a lovely mistake.
They never did that again.
No.
In this episode.
God, who was in charge on emblem duty?
That was
you
been
fired.
makeup key Jan Newman. But Jan figured it out and she
Yeah.
stuck
Okay.
around.
Do you know, is there a story behind the eyeshadow?
It was just to make him more alien.
Egyptian motif.
Yeah, and I mean they're
Yeah,
dipping his head in
okay.
gold, so
Because they stopped the eyeshadow, it's like season
when he
6
got
or
his
something,
Tritonin,
season 7.
yeah,
Yeah.
he really at the same time was like, okay, I'm
I feel like he went harder with the eyeshadow in seasons 4 and 5.
Towards
for some
the end,
reason.
he did. He definitely did. It was
was quite
like
wild.
a darker shade and quite pointy.
Yeah.
This is like
Here
a lot.
it's,
This is a
lighter
lot more
points.
subtle.
Yep.
So I've been playing God of War, and his voice is so much deeper nowadays. Christopher Judge.
He has an amazing voice.
Who does?
Urias Tosh. It's a brotherhood. It's a servanthood. Yep.
I like that he gets it. He's not even salty.
Yeah.
Right.
I respect that.
Yeah, I love Jack's willingness to trust him.
Mm.
And this is what it comes down to. He watched him sacrifice himself and his future, and later
that's it.
his kids. We don't even know about, but later his kids.
Yeah.
So. Mama Knox asked, did he bring the eyeshadow with him to Earth? Oh yeah, he did. I'm sure it was.
He
sure it
had a
was
nice
in
palette
his boot.
It was in his sleeve.
Chulak colors.
That's funny.
And some bronzer, obviously, for his head.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
It's a little foreshadowing to the scene where Teal'c turns on the television and takes a look at what's out there.
Oh, such a good scene.
Yeah.
Very funny. Your world's so weird. So's yours.
The first Doctor to bite the dust.
Yeah, I was gonna say, first one to die on the job.
The next guy lives for quite a long time, doesn't he?
Oh, I know that.
reappears.
Well, Dr. Warner, I think.
He's in
Yeah.
4 episodes. Warner is.
Yeah. And this scene almost suggests the gold is not in the brain, but it's like elsewhere in the body. It's just like hanging out.
It's a bit weird.
I get a bit confused with where they're going with this. It's like a loose gold, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
not
right?
next to anything.
Okay, so we got a problem. Jeez.
Indeed.
This is how it works.
Embarkation room.
God, the gate room.
Yeah.
I love
Technically,
that.
the
This is
embarkation
the embarkation room.
Embarkation room.
Jay said that, he was kind of like, he had put like his hands out to it like he was worshiping it. He wasn't exactly sure how to approach the scene, but like he was kind of in awe
Great.
of it.
He looks
Oh
great.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
that was a good move.
Everyone's so on edge.
Mm.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. The base is under attack. No one would be getting sleep.
No.
Where's the doctor?
Oh yeah, because the doctor's missing.
Right.
Like, huh.
Oh yes.
Mm.
Nimziki. Only they use a CT machine, don't they?
I thought so. I'm pretty sure. These military people coming in and
Oh,
out.
I really liked this this whole
Colonel
moment
Kennedy?
here. Yeah, the interrogation from Colonel Kennedy is very interesting.
I wish we had seen him more.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we find out later on from Mayborn that he got promoted or something.
I think yes, he did.
He was in the NID.
Oh no, that was was that?
I think it's him. I wrote it down when I was doing research.
Or
this
are they
afternoon.
talking about Samuels? Could be.
No, I think it was Colonel Kennedy.
Okay, it's certainly.
Apparently,
yeah,
it's a
that would make
line from
sense.
Enigma.
Everyone's getting promoted like crazy around here. It
This
makes sense
is
if it was
true.
Enigma actually, because that's when oh my god, my brain's breaking. My brain's broken. Fucking what's his face? What is his face? Mayborn.
Yeah.
Mayborn
Yes.
comes in and he's all like, yo, and they're like, where's Kennedy gone? And he's like, I'm here now.
Yeah, he says he's been promoted.
Yeah,
And
I think you are right.
He's taken the position.
It's so good.
I'm surprised that Jack didn't insist on being in this meeting, but I guess this is his way of insisting.
Yeah.
Forcibly insisting.
I like him because he's quite a soft bad guy, you know. He's not like a bad guy. He's an all right dude doing his job.
Yeah, no, he's friction.
Yeah,
I mean,
just blinded by bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
he's in there to do a job.
Bureaucracy.
Teal'c is
Yes.
a potential threat. You know,
Yes.
he's there to determine the extent of that threat and to. Well, this is just a debriefing. So
Yeah. Oh, I love this whole reveal.
Well, this establishes that the Tauri are the original world. Teal'c
Yes.
Yeah.
says,
Oh, I love it.
I think had an inkling of suspicion, but didn't know for sure until they confirmed it. Because he stops and is surprised when he says, "You are our greatest hope and mine."
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the first episode where they mention the Tari.
Yes.
I mean, it's the first episode for a lot of things. It's the
Yes.
first time they use the term dialing as well. And it's the first of 2 episodes directed by Dennis Barry.
I like that Tilt doesn't even realize hyperspace is a thing for the Gould yet.
Well, they hadn't really discussed it.
No.
And it's one of those that, when that comes along later in the season, then that actively becomes, there's the reference right there, part of the show's backdrop. But before, the Gould didn't really have reason to travel very far because, except for border skirmishes with one another, the System Lords, they largely had some kind of feudal order. It's found.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. His brain just exploded.
Yep.
He's acting really like, like he knows. It's like we got so much more to learn
Yeah.
about how the ancients were involved.
And this is the production excuse for putting humans everywhere.
Who speak perfect English.
Who speak
Perfect
English, yeah,
English,
and look
yeah.
the same. Yeah, like
They happen
yeah.
to evolve in the same way with their
Yes.
language. Nothing changed.
Asked Jonathan Glassner. I said, in the pilot episode, you really could have developed some kind of universal translator that that could have been found
like
on
what
a
the
gold
DRDs
planet.
inject you in
Yeah,
Farscape.
or like the TARDIS as well.
Right,
The
and
TARDIS, yeah.
And Glassner said we toyed with that, we thought about that, but it just didn't make sense. The gold wouldn't have really a need for something like that.
Yeah.
So they just kind of went with it, and it works. You have to buy it. You also have to buy that they're not coming back sick with a new illness every single week, which would happen.
I mean, that would. So they would, but it would get boring after a while.
Right.
So you just have to sort of just put that to one side and forget about it.
I find it funny that in Torment of Tantalus they have this universal like language on the bloody ceiling, but they didn't need it because they all spoke English. So
That's true.
Well, the four great races did not, but yeah.
Well, the four great races, yeah, they did. What are you talking about? They spoke English as well as everything else. When when SG-1 bumps into 3 out of 4
right
of them.
now they did, but not necessarily then.
Oh, okay. No, I see what you're saying. The Nox learned their language in like 2 minutes.
I suspect so. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Nimziki.
No.
There's your MRI right there. And there's.
Look at the way it's wrapped around your uvula, as Jack says.
No, that's what's left of Ball's pride. That sensation that's wrapped around your uvula. That's what's left of your pride. Jean Diata Smith. My headcanon is that the process of going through the gate adds the translator to your brain.
Oh.
Guys, do you have the chat open?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh.
I haven't seen this in a really long time, so I'm really like, I'm so focusing on it, like so hard.
I love this shot. Just like kind of like beeping and bobbing.
Yeah.
Oh, boom.
Oh, I love
the
this.
strength.
Yes, that's right. They have superior strength.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She gets manhandled a lot in this episode.
She does. She gets manhandled for the next 2.5 minutes. It's pretty extreme.
Yeah. Oh, and I read that she actually did have a concussion when she got
kind of
knocked
throw her
in the elevator. Yeah.
Wow, I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, 5-year-old me was like, "Oh my god, Jack, yes, be the hero. Let's go, my dude." Because my girl crush.
As a 5-year-old, did you?
Yeah, I was deep as a 5-year-old. I was like, "OMG, Mr. Savior Man, gonna come and save Sam! How exciting!"
I was still watching
It's
City and
Jack.
Sweep at that age.
Well, nowadays, I'm like, man, she should save herself. So
Wait, watch for the fall.
yeah. Honey, that was a bit
Oh.
silly.
Oh,
but,
that's just like completely limp. Oh god.
I love Daniel this episode. It's just him kind of witnessing all the stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean Daniel and Sam really take a backseat in this episode. They're just sort of there.
Well, they're good.
That's the beauty of Stargate.
On
They
planets,
go back and forth.
This is more. They're still trying to figure stuff out. And Dr. Ed Warner has a lot of what, eventually would go to Terrell and Amanda together as they figured stuff out.
What's actually really funny is you say that like they're good off planets, and they are good like when they're on planets off world. But like it's funny. I feel like there's always these interesting pair ups. Like on base, Sam and Daniel always pair up to talk about the nerdy things they collected, while off base, Jack and Teal'c are always doing all the mission stuff with the military stuff, and Sam gets involved.
Yeah.
But because all the action's happening on the base today, it's a very Teal'c and Jack episode.
And Kowalski.
He's not SG-1, so I wasn't talking about him.
I love that they happen to have this whole apparatus here that he can stick his head through.
I always think about that whenever they like strap someone to some type of device. I'm always like, now how did you know you were going to need that?
Your tax dollar at work.
Like he's actually crying. Just the feeling.
Jay's brilliant.
In this episode is just amazing.
He's so good.
Yeah, he is very good.
And that one tear from that one eye, that one drop, the drama. Love it.
I gotta get him back on Dial the Gate.
I love the way he like connected the dots. He's like, oh, I realize how it happened now.
Yeah. Oh, he's just so desperate. Just do whatever you need to.
I love the message of this story is that, you can't save them. We don't have the technology, and it raises the stakes. So
yeah, they had to kill someone that wasn't the main team member, sadly.
He had main team energy though.
He did. My friends and I were already bummed out. I was bummed out years ago, but when I rewatched it, I was like, yeah. And seeing my friends' fresh reactions, being like, wow, I really liked him. I'm like, yeah, I know. It wasn't you.
Yep. But I mean that wouldn't immediately alleviate your guilt.
No.
Yeah, there was still an action there that you're responsible for, just not the. Yeah.
Yes, Anthony Rawling, it is due to copyright. Hence why it's not on while
we can't live stream it. We don't have the rights to.
Should call up Amazon and demand it.
No.
I'll call customer service, be like, oi.
Yeah, you can
get me
really
through the
far by
CEO.
calling customer service.
The way that Jack just ignored him.
Did I hear or read somewhere that RDA calls them ghouls because he doesn't want to pronounce it Goa'uld, like it's just too hard?
I agree. I'd like to think that's true. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's also, they can use it like as a pejorative.
Yeah.
We have to talk to it. They're still trying to figure out the rules for how the Goa'uld take over, and it's an infant, so.
Yeah.
Did they use like a puppet or something for the actual lava ghouls?
Yeah, I think they always did. Yeah.
Well, until they switched to CG.
Yes.
Yeah.
As it always did, as in for currently where we are.
Right. Now we need to talk to this thing.
I like his anger. It's like so.
It's like he's got like the sweat going on and like the veins.
Like he doesn't
in his
care
forehead.
what his general tells him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teal'c, my dude. Let's go.
This personality transformation is just terrific.
Yeah. Scary. When I was a kid, I was very unnerved.
Yeah. Are they going to do it? Are we here? Here we go. He just goes right into it.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
Can't waste time. It comes in so fast.
Hammond doesn't even skip a beat.
No. Nah, mate.
And they're strong.
Yeah, you need some stronger restraints there. There it is. What's really scary is the idea that they can like fake it, you know, like they just trust that he's back because of his reaction. But you know, how do you know?
Well, that chapter doesn't really get started until, you know, in the line of duty.
Yeah.
You're pulling the old Gould I'm a Tok'ra thing.
You get like 2 seconds of it in this episode toward the end, and then that's it.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's right. It does. You're absolutely right. I forgot.
But then it goes like full force with it down the road,
That's
where
true.
like they love faking it. The room is so dark early on.
Mm-hmm. Duplicating the atmosphere from the movie as much as they can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it also kind of adds to the, you know, kind of
intensity
fear that you feel. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But by season 8, it's all like, you know, happy.
I mean, it makes sense that a facility can evolve, you know, over the course of time. But, you know, this close to the film, it's good to have it match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let it kind of
continuity
become more positive as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to calm down, my dude?
But they're looking at his a source of information, but he's never going to tell them anything of value.
He's raising good points. I just don't agree.
He's just trying to. It's just an argument with no emotion. But that's what he has to do. He's a person, not just an incubator.
That's his function, biologically.
That's how the Gould see him, as an incubator.
All the knowledge of the Goulds, well, of that particular queen that it came from.
Yeah.
But imagine them like leaving Kowalski alive for like the first half of season 1, and putting him behind bars in the hopeless attempt of extracting knowledge from the Gould. That would have been an interesting arc.
That would have been interesting.
Like, Kowalski, we've decided to leave it in you. You're our ambassador now.
I kind of wish they did that.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't even have to have him in every episode. It could just be like
exactly.
Leave him in a cell
every now and then. They
3
could just sort of
seasons
visit
from
him.
now.
Yeah.
Tok'ra can sort it out. Or 3 episodes from now, Thor's hammer can sort it out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, yes.
Hammond's like the only one with a sense of humanity.
Urius Toss just said, could you make sushi from a Gould? I would try that, sure. It would be basically just eel, wouldn't it?
Yeah. There'd be a lot of bones, I'd imagine.
Take it all out. You can debone a fish. Even one as painfully annoying as that to debone. I want sushi now. Shaka like them cooked. Thank you, Anthony. He did. I love Teal'c. He's so selfless.
Mm-hmm. They could kill this thing if they're not careful.
Yeah. Then what's he gonna do?
Yeah, in the original broadcast pilot, you know, he said that Kowalski said he didn't even know that Jack had a son. But already in this episode, they're suggesting that they know each other better. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then isn't it in Gamekeeper? We see them in an old memory of Jack's where they were doing a mission together.
Exactly.
They used to play street hockey together and all this stuff. So, and when Brad finally did the final cut, they took out the bit about I didn't know you had a son. So it made it clear that
Yeah.
these
That
two
is
had known
one
each other.
line that I
Well,
do
don't
wish
they-
wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they insinuate that Jack named his son after him.
Yes, correct.
Oh, here we
You know
go.
what, you know
One.
what I don't get. I don't really get is Kowalski coughs a couple of times. Like, what is the? I don't understand why he's coughing. You know, does the?
I suppose the people cough. You know,
I
Yeah,
don't
people
know,
cough. Maybe he's got running. Maybe he's got a cold. It's a bit run down as a result of the symbiote. You
that
know?
could be too.
but maybe.
Like
He's
it can't feel
he's
good
fighting
having
this
that.
thing, so yeah, I would surmise that
Maybe it's like a. Maybe it is a uvula thing.
Well, it's not fully in there either. It is wrapped
Maybe
around.
it's like a
the...
tickle at the back of his throat.
Yeah, because it is basically there. I just want to say somebody, Jean Diatta, I think that's how I say it. I don't know how I say it. She said one thing I really appreciate in season 1 is the amount of time they spend closing up all the ties from the movie,
Yep.
and I think that's good. I like that.
Yeah, they had a 4-season running order at this point, so I mean they knew that they had time to play.
I thought it was 44
flesh things
episodes.
out a bit.
They at this point they were good for it was. I'm pretty sure by now it was 88. I'm pretty sure by now it was 4 seasons, and they went to 5. I think before the end of.
I mean, everyone says their own thing. I think I saw somebody say 44 somewhere, but I'm sure that
that could be
everyone's
at this
recollection
point
is different.
It's just the time at which those things change. It's quite possible they had a 2-season order right out of there, but very quickly it was 4.
Yeah. Well, I knew that as well. I just didn't know when that kicked in, but I thought initially so early it was that. But I did say to my friend, I was like, I think it's 4 seasons, but it was 44. Basically, I had the same argument I've just had now. Because you don't know. History is a funny thing. Memory is hard.
Minister anesthetic to the gold. How did they know? How would they know how much to give it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why they were doing those experiments on Tilt, wasn't it? But I mean, yeah. How would they even gauge how effective it was? It's all a guessing game at this point.
I love that, of course, he said that. He was like, I want to make it me or not at all. And I think that's I have a lot of respect for that. It's quite a scary thing to just kind of be like, don't even do anything to try and bring me back from this if that thing is going to be here.
Yeah, he wants to be himself or nothing at all.
Yep.
I respect that so much.
And this is we have to have this as a first episode, really to see, okay, if this is what the goal will do to us, how far will each side take it?
Yeah.
Apparently the time changes a bunch of times. It goes like forward and backwards during this sequence.
It does? I'm not surprised.
I've never noticed that. And if that is
no,
the case,
I haven't noticed it. I haven't noticed it either, but
we went to 1 hour 19, so maybe as well though, like when you bring the camera back out and if you see the camera in the background, then you see that.
I think that's probably where it happens. There was there wasn't a consistent flow. It sort of went forward and then backwards and then forward and then backwards.
I hate seeing there it is. It says 23 minutes there, but it just said 1 hour 19 or something. Yeah, that's the one thing that gives me anxiety about seeing clocks when I'm watching TV, because when I notice someone's wearing a watch, there's a clock, I'm like, oh god, be consistent.
It's distracting you from the plot.
Yeah. Kind of like when you can see an actor putting an iPhone to their face.
Right.
But
I hate that. It doesn't
like
go
on
dark.
a
Screen's
screen.
off. Yeah.
It's on a lock screen. It should just go off when it goes to your face.
Right.
If
they're actually on it. And Charlie's about to die.
Snip.
That's it. I think that's the point. I think that's the point where it kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a function of the nervous system or something. God.
I feel like that was like the symbiote, like trying to like just quickly evacuate and hide somewhere else for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So pulled out and did that.
So is it the head that they didn't manage to extract? Is that what it was?
I think it's the head.
I don't
That's what
quite
comes
understand.
out at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also
like
struggle to
pulling it from
understand.
behind.
Yeah.
Because like the Goa'uld himself says something about you only remove the husk.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, because look, see, it looks like there's the head there, but it's
and
like
also
it looks like you pulled the whole
for
thing.
A junior Goa'uld, this thing is massive.
Yeah.
Because like in later episodes, it's like half that size.
But
Well,
it was like
nearly
ripped open.
ready for implantation. It wasn't like extremely
Yeah, it wasn't a baby actually. No, you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
It does look like kind of husky though. Like it looks like almost like an outer shell, kind of like maybe a snake shed its skin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, they're so proud of themselves. He's so proud of himself. I feel
Yeah,
so
they
bad for him.
never tried anything like this before.
He thinks he's done it, and I feel really bad.
He's like, I'm going to update my resume.
That's what I was going to say. He's going to go write a paper about this that can never be published to the actual world. Poor guy.
Not drinking for two.
I love that line.
Cake.
I love that like lackluster salute.
They don't salute indoors anymore.
Like, I'm so done with you.
They stopped doing that.
Oh, really?
10
Indoors?
years later.
Okay.
About 10 years, a little less later, they killed it. So
interesting.
In real life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't salute indoors anymore.
Is it because it was just so bloody annoying?
I don't know about that. They just the Air Force stopped saluting. The whole military, I'm pretty sure, just stopped saluting indoors.
I mean, imagine if you're carrying loads of items through the door and then you have to like drop everything to quickly salute, you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
I do love that, like, this is like the front line, but like from Cheyenne Mountain, I'm sure there's like a house, like, you know, a good kilometer away that doesn't even realize they're like sitting on top of a potential apocalypse every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my goodness. It's quite scary.
Would be very bad for real estate.
Yeah. I hope whoever lives close by gets really cheap discounts for that house.
Would you like to see the snake? No, I'm good, thanks.
It's like when you pull out
it's
like
not
kidney
like a
stones.
tooth or something.
Right.
Yeah. I love to look at, like, my nan had kidney stones pulled out and I was like, ooh, and I shaked it like a rattle for ages.
Ah.
I'd love to get a symbiote and just flail it about a little bit, be like, ooh, you know? Oh god.
Here we go.
Oh god. I'm sure you do, my dude.
I forgot that this was the last thing that kept Teal'c at the command. I forgot all about this. That it's his trying to prevent Kowalski from going through that convinces the government higher ups to let Teal'c stay at the command.
This makes me so, it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
What, this particular scene or the end of the
this scene like is kind of, it makes me really sad because Teal'c and him are having this like absolute potential bromance happening. It's like, you know, it could be one of his first Earth friends. Yeah, he looks like, oh, you're my freedom and friendship, you know? It's like, oh, sorry, mate.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. And see, this is one of the things.
Yeah,
right.
That doesn't maintain
continuity
any
issue.
consistency there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the symbiote doesn't need to symbiote anymore. It can take over the person, the brain.
Yeah.
And they obviously pull back on that.
Yeah,
because otherwise, like, Skara would have been screwed, basically.
Toast,
right.
Yeah.
Just always been
a
Goa'uld.
So violent.
I'm kind of glad that they changed that, because otherwise it would have been very bleak. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
The only solution would have been the Thor's hammer approach, you know, because that kind of like just killed whatever ghoul was in there, without getting too specific about how it does it, you know.
Yeah, or like Jolinar, where the it actually chose to sort of sacrifice itself, you know, inside of the host.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Walter,
after that assassin came,
Walter's arm got broken.
How tragic for him. However, will he dial the gate now? I can't feel too much sympathy for Walter because Kowalski's in like such a worse situation right now. He's like, oh, measly little broken arm, that'll mend. You know?
Apparently there's no consistency with the sound of the gate.
In terms of it dialing?
The kawoosh happens too early.
Oh yes, I agree. Mm-hmm. It does happen a lot. Like sometimes they receive the
coordinates before it's open, right?
Yeah.
Kel shock.
You cannot pass.
this is an insane shot because imagine 1997. It's already hard enough to get that puddle to look good.
Right.
So trying to get it to consistently be here in the middle of the fight, it's like,
Yep.
I don't want to be like, it looks like, it looks bad, but it doesn't look as good as other shots because it's so hard to try and get all that
Well,
movement there.
they were still
Also because 1997.
Yeah,
they had
a long time ago.
at least three different vendors.
Yeah, so the
So
consistency of the puddle
You're
is
not.
a bit,
It's clearly not. This is clearly not the vendor they went with later on. So
no.
and the visuals there are just like, meh.
Well, the visual here from the distance was actually not too bad. To be honest, for 1997, it's pretty good.
Right,
For
exactly.
a TV show, like, damn. Like, this show doesn't have the same budget as, like, Game of Thrones now, but, but it looks pretty damn good for the time.
Yeah.
And that shot right there was actually really well done. I love that.
Cut off the back of his head.
Jack's face. Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I asked my dad, I said to him, I was like, what happened to the rest of his head? And my dad was like, oh, it's on another planet. And then a few years later, I went, okay, so I've watched enough Stargate to now know you're wrong.
Yeah, it's
And then I corrected
dematerialized.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt so proud.
So see, there's a physical.
It's like that.
It's so Indiana
Lodged
Jones.
itself in
Yeah.
his head.
So it doesn't take over the brain. There
No.
still has to be a physical piece there.
Yeah, but usually it's like, a lot more than just that from what we see in the future.
My friend died on the table.
Exactly. That's all there is to it.
I love that
Giuliana, on
Jack
Tube
gave the
TV, it
command.
looked amazing, not on HD. So, what'd you say?
I love the fact that Jack gave the command to do it, and then they kind of accept what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to.
It does feel a bit weird they both just walked away, but I guess it's hard to look at. So
Yeah.
that they'll wait for the paramedic people to like come in with their big black bag and stuff him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam.
Aww.
I do love that. That's an important
Little
nice
seed of
exchange.
hope.
Yeah. he's smiling.
Good old Colonel Kennedy.
So proud of himself right now.
You're gonna get reamed.
P3575.
I love that Hammond should really know that there's going to be four of them on the mission. And he
Aw.
says, "Are we ready?" But Teal'c's not even there because the drama.
Yep.
So yeah.
Sir.
Cute.
I don't think he ever calls him sir again after that.
Just always says just General Hammond,
Yes, General Hammond. Yeah.
But that's like
Daniel
respect
Jackson.
enough.
Colonel Carter.
Yeah.
Or Captain Carter.
Yes. At this point.
Just got to admire.
Well, guys, it's their first time
admire
going
the
through the gate
puddle.
on a mission.
There
This
we
is a big deal.
go.
It looks terrible, and I love it.
Yay!
What cuties. Wait, I just missed my brain. Was Daniel wearing like the big hat? Actually, was everyone
Of
wearing big
course,
hats
yeah,
except for
they were
Jack again?
helmets. Yep.
Except for Jack, he was wearing his cap because
Yeah, he had his cap. He's cool.
he's the worst. I can't believe he did that. I love that they made a joke about that in season 8 where they're like, why do I have to wear these stupid things and you don't? And he's like, he just says nothing. Because I did wonder that. I was always like, just because you're the colonel, you think you don't have to dress like everyone else? What do you get shot in the head?
They were still figuring stuff out this early in. It's like,
Yeah,
what
no.
costume decisions work, which don't, The helmets would have probably always stayed on. So,
Yeah.
I would have thought so.
Exactly.
I've always noticed Nicole Forrest in the credits, by the way, because she has my name. So I always remember that.
What does she
production
do?
accountant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's up on level 3, I believe.
Yeah, it is. That's where Vala works. She works in accounts receivable.
Receivable. Click, click, click. That's funny.
I think I was
Enemy
like
Within,
accounts
everyone.
receivable, anything with money. Yes, Enemy Within. Woo! What a good
Alright.
time.
Yeah.